Here we go. I'm going to record here and just let's start with some introductions because some of these faces look familiar. I'm Rabbi Rayzel or Rabbi Gila Rayzel, and I am delighted you all are here and just piquing your curiosity to live and see the world and take a peek at what South Africa looks like. So we'll just wait for people to tumble in here a second, but I just want to say this will be, I think, my 10th trip to somewhere. And so maybe introduce yourself and say where, if you've traveled with me before, where you've traveled, maybe a word or two about why you're interested in South Africa. And, we'll wait for a few people before I introduce Sagy. So I'm very excited. I just got back from Croatia, Bosnia, and Slovenia with some of you, and I'm thinking ahead. So I'm ready to go. Susan Abrams, how are you? Why don't you say hello?
Hi, everybody. I'm Susan. And once I saw I really wasn't interested. And then I saw the itinerary. And then I said, oh, okay, maybe. Because I'm doing a big trip this summer. So, it's like, but I may as well do it while I have the energy and the strength
Amen.
and the
Amen.
desire.
And the desire. Mimi and Renee, say hello.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. I've traveled, Mimi and I have both traveled with you, Israel 2017. We were in Spain and Morocco. So those were three trips. And thinking about doing this again. South Africa is quite intriguing, not least because my grandfather from the Pale of Settlement went through South Africa on his way to, well, what ultimately ended up being Connecticut. He wanted a farm. I don't know what happened in South Africa. I only know he ended up there for a while because I have a studio portrait of him, which is beautiful. I could share that. It's really interesting to see that, he did a formal portrait while in South Africa, and then he ended up having a farm in Connecticut.
Well, let's
And
go find him.
yeah, right, right. I know. So anyway, but the itinerary, I've looked at it only not in depth the way I will ultimately start to after this talk. But it looks intriguing. So, I'm thinking very seriously about this now. So yeah.
I just want to welcome Arlene and Sue came in here and Fran. So we're just going around the room saying hello. And if you've traveled with me before, Tamima.
Hi, good, beautiful. It's morning over here in Southern California. Yeah, I've had I'm a rabbi in Southern California, a holistic Jew, and I've gone on two trips with Rayzel, and they've been fantastic. I just had the best time with a lot of the familiar faces here. And what drew me to this, South Africa is also just really interesting, and the safari aspect and the animals and the wildlife is like I'm so. And I didn't look at the itinerary in detail, but I did see there was some safari time on there. And so that draws me to this and to travel with Discover again. It's just so much fun.
Deb Nye, how are you?
Hi, Good. Happy birthday.
Thank
Happy birthday. You look beautiful. Yes, I have traveled with Rayzel to Israel in 2017 with Mimi and Renee and others, and India in 2024. And it's been on my South Africa, the safari, the animals in the wild is the way I love my animals. And the trip that going there has been on my list for a while. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. And then, of course, now we have the Jews in that part of the world. And I always like traveling and working with the Jews with Rayzel wherever we go.
you. Thank you. Welcome. Howie, welcome.
Hello, I have not traveled with you before.
No.
I'm actually friends with Fran. I know Fran was on the Croatia trip.
Yes.
I live in Center City in Philadelphia, and like to just find out more about South Africa.
Okay. Welcome aboard. Meryl.
Okay, I've traveled with Rayzel to Morocco and Greece. South Africa interests me. I had a teacher at one time who was South African, a rabbi, came over taught an adult program. It's always interested me. The safari also interests me. Going to the falls, seeing what's out there.
Great. Fran.
Yes, hello. I've been with Rayzel most recently in Croatia and Bosnia and in Morocco. So it's great to see some people from that trip on the tour. I've been to South Africa, so I'm looking at the itinerary and to see what sections of it might interest me, and definitely looks interesting.
Great. Evelyn.
Hi, I'm Evelyn. I'm in Northeast Philadelphia. I've been with Rayzel on the trip to Greece and the trip to Croatia, and I think this is going to be very exciting. Thank you.
Okay. Arlene, welcome. I don't think I've met you,
No, no, you have not met me.
but I'm
Although if it's your birthday today, I understand that we share a birthday.
it was 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. Valerie Joseph is a friend of mine, and I understand she was telling me about the trip to Croatia and
Yes.
said that you were going next to Africa, and Africa's long been on my bucket list, both in terms of a safari and in terms of the Jewish community.
Excellent.
So she shared this link with me today, and I'm looking forward to hearing about the trip.
Great. And let me just say, on every trip, I get some people who have traveled with me before, and on every trip, I get new people. So it's always a good mix, and I think you'll feel at home after a couple of days, even if you've never traveled with me before. Miriam.
Thank you. I didn't hear the prompt, but it sounds like you want to know where I'm from and why I'm interested. Okay. So I live in New Haven, Connecticut, but I grew up in Havertown, Pennsylvania, and I met I met you in Israel in the 80s, Women of the Wall, et cetera. And I think we've been friends on Facebook ever since then, but it's been quite a while since we've seen each other in person. And I basically really enjoy travel with a focus on Jewish places of interest and topics of interest, because that's what I end up searching out anyway. So I figure that's what I always end up searching that out anyway. I may as well just throw in my lot and travel with an intentionally Jewish group. So I hope I've answered your questions.
We'll have done the hard work for you.
Yeah.
Welcome. Sue.
Thank you.
Sue back there? Or she's just...
Hi, I'm Sue, and traveled to Greece. The South Africa trip excites me. I've always wanted to go to Africa, and my family has the Lithuanian roots, so I thought that was interesting. And also the safari and the falls would be amazing.
Are you going to, Wendy brought you to the last,
yeah.
Are you going to bring her this one?
We'll see.
We'll see. Okay. So we're recording today. I just want to say to Howie, there always ends up, I know you might feel a little outnumbered here by the women, but there always ends up being at least one man, and not more, on the trip. So we always need one. We always need at least one. That's like the secret ingredient that helps make it. You'll be loved up. Okay, so it is my pleasure to introduce to you Sagy, who is an Israeli living in South Africa. He came highly recommended to me by my two friends, Marcy Gilbert and Shalom Schachter. Oh, Elka, I missed you. I'm so sorry. Elka, say hello. We just got back from Croatia. So hold that thought for Sagy. Elka. You were quiet. I wasn't used to that. We can't hear you, though. Let's see. Turn your volume up, maybe. There you go.
Can you hear me better now?
Better.
Barely.
I'm very happy to see some of the people that traveled with me to Croatia. The trip was wonderful. Traveling with the group was wonderful. The
was my first trip at least. So the second day, I was already part of it and felt very well. So, and the trip was good in terms of Jewish communities, and it was beautiful in terms of places that we saw and things that we did. So it was wonderful. I'm considering Africa as well. Thank you.
You have a little static on your screen, so if it maybe check your settings or something if and when you're going to speak again. Okay, so as I was saying, Sagy was recommended by my friends Rabbi Shalom Schachter and Marcy Gilbert, and they said they just sent me an email one day, said, I think we found your next travel agent. So he and I have been talking. It takes a year to put together an itinerary like this because I do have a distinct focus. I do have as I've done more of these, I've figured out like my formula that to get what I call the main trip, and then offer, for those of you who don't have the time, the money, the pre-trip, and the post-trip, so that you can sort of book it in modular stages, modular places. And so I always offer those options. And Sagy and I, we focus on connecting and meeting and experiencing Jewish life where we go. And of course, seeing all the major sites. And in this case, it's not only the scenery, the nature, but South Africa. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sagy. He's got this amazing presentation, and let's take it away.
First of all, hello everyone from South Africa. I hope you're all well. I'm very excited to have you in beautiful South Africa and to share the pure nature and pure beauty that this country has to offer. Also from a nature side of things, but also from a Jewish side of things. So I think someone already mentioned here that South Africa has a rich Jewish, especially Lithuanian Jewish history. As we know, a lot of the Lithuanian Jews that stayed in Lithuania did not survive, but a small part of them actually came to South Africa from all places and made one of the largest, surviving Lithuanian communities in the world, which is bizarre but amazing at the same time. I'll share my screen so you can see what we are planning. As we said, it is modular. I try to cramp as much as possible and make it also a little bit more visual. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. But yeah, I'll try to. We'll start taking it step by step. Okay, cool. So first place we'll land is in Cape Town. Rabbi calls it the pre-tour, which is fine if people want to come a little bit later. That's good, but I would highly, highly recommend not to miss it. So in Cape Town, we're basically going to have Cape Town as a tour. Then we're going to have the Garden Route. So from Cape Town, you'll see here on the map. I know it doesn't mean much to you, but I'll try to still explain a little bit. So Cape Town will have a few days in Cape Town. Then we're going to be driving throughout the Garden Route, which is a beautiful scenic route. And we'll end up in Port Elizabeth. In Port Elizabeth, we'll have a safari experience. After the safari experience, we'll be flying to Johannesburg, where we'll have 2 days in Johannesburg and an optional trip to Victoria Falls, which is in Zimbabwe, not in Kenya. Just want to put it on the table, okay? So Victoria Falls for another 3 days, and then you'll return back to Johannesburg and finish your trip. And then if you want to stay in South Africa or you want to visit other sites or whatever, you can, or otherwise you'll depart back to the US.
Yeah, I just want
Now,
to apologize that I did report in my newsletter that we were going to Victoria Falls in Kenya. This is why I'm going, so that I can learn something where where things are and learn something about the places we're visiting.
Okay, so landing in Cape Town. So Cape Town is one of the most beautiful cities in the world with the most beautiful nature and views. Basically, we arrive in Cape Town. We will have the Peninsula tour where we'll see one of the most, we'll be driving the road called Chapman's Peak, which is one of the most beautiful roads in the world. We'll be going to a place where the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean meet, where we'll see wildlife. We'll be able to see baboons on the roads. We'll see penguins. We'll see seals. Unfortunately, we probably won't see any whales because it will not be in season, but I see whales now almost every day. Um, Part of that tour, so that's a peninsula tour. We'll go up Table Mountain. We'll go to Kirstenbosch, which is one of the most beautiful botanical garden in the world. So yes, this is basically, and we'll have, so that's Cape Town. And then part of being in Cape Town, we'll also have a history. So we have the city tour, which is more of a historic tour, where we'll be seeing and meeting the Jewish life of Cape Town, but also being introduced to apartheid, the historic, the history of South Africa, how the history of South Africa with apartheid meets the Jewish life of South Africa. Um, at the same time, we'll be there on December 31st, and then we're gonna have we'll have some New Year's celebrations. We'll see from the marina, we'll be able to see the fireworks. We'll go to a really nice restaurant. We'll have a lot of off time as well, so you'll be able to do shopping, see whatever if you want to do things by yourself or have separate experiences that is not included in the store. There's going to be plenty of time for that as well. We'll have a Shabbat. So from Friday Eve to Saturday, it's going to be basically a chill day for you guys. We will be going for two Shabbats. One, we're going to be going to the progressive shul in Cape Town called Temple Israel. Well, we have a service there. And then we'll also be going to what we call the garden shuls or the main shul of South Africa, of Cape Town, and where we're also going to have a meal with the community and so on. Now, so one of those days, it's also going to be optional. So if, for instance, you don't necessarily want to meet or you don't want to go and you want to do a separate tour or whatever you decide on that Shabbat, we don't have any planned activity but going to shul. So on that Shabbat, you're welcome to go to the beach, welcome to do shopping. You can go do whatever you want, really. If you want anything, obviously you can I can organize it, but Shabbat is basically your time to do whatever you want. Cool. After Shabbat, we'll be going to a forest retreat, okay, which is a little bit outside of Cape Town. It's a beautiful place led by the rabbis. And it's basically very cool. It's a bit of a surprising itinerary of what we will have there, but the place is very beautiful. We do have a limit of only 15 people, just to keep in mind, but it will be co-led by Rabbi Andy, which is a progressive rabbi in South Africa. She's here for many years, but she's originally from Hungary. But very, very, very cool experience. Part of the experience will also go to a place called World of Birds, which is also very special and very unique. This whole area basically is a very beautiful part of Cape Town, very lush and very green. Great. So this is so here we finished the pre-tour of Cape Town, and this is the main tour. So we'll go to the Cape Winelands. So South Africa is very, very famous for its wine. Um, they've been having wine here or producing wine here since the 16 or 1500s. And also very beautiful place. We'll start with the Cape wines and then start the garden route. So the garden route, basically, as we said, started from Cape Town, finishing in Port Elizabeth, going to Oudtshoorn, which is basically Jerusalem or of the south, the Jerusalem of Africa, which was one of the first Jewish settlements in Africa. Going to Knysna, this is how you pronounce this city. Knysna, the whole area is amazing with caves, with beautiful nature. We'll go, yeah. So this is the garden route, and that will be taking place. So the map that I showed you, that's about 11 to 10 hours drive, which we'll be doing, I think, in 5 days. Cool. Then we'll be arriving to Port Elizabeth. And Port Elizabeth, also very beautiful area, but also we're gonna also have a Shabbat there. So we'll be welcomed by the Jewish community there, and also for service and for meal. We'll also be going to Tsitsikamma. So Tsitsikamma, it's a very long bridge that it's very famous also because a lot of people decide to do bungee jumps. Now, when I told this to the rabbi, she thought that I'm offering bungee jumps. Obviously, if somebody wants to do a bungee jump, they are very welcome to do it. Please come with health insurance and travel insurance and so on. But they're very welcome to do it. Otherwise, we're just gonna be going through the bridge and showing you the area. Okay, great. Then we are arriving to Ado. So Ado is it's basically our safari section. We'll be staying there for 3 nights. We'll have 2 full days of game drives. So 2 full days, morning and evening, going and looking for the animals to see in their natural habitat. And our aim is we want to see the big five. So the big five are the lions, the elephants, the rhinos, and so on. So I just want also to put things in perspective. We're not going to a zoo. So what does it mean? We don't know. So, there might be some drives where for a few hours you might not see anything, but then you'll see a lot of them at the same time. So we'll be going on these drives in order to go and find them. So it's not like we know exactly where they're gonna be and there's a fence. So you're gonna be on a 4x4. It's very secure, it's very safe, and with a ranger, and the ranger is very good at what he does in order to find them. But we're basically a guest in their area, so we'll actually need to go and find them. But we have 2 full days of going and looking and seeing the animals. And yeah, so we have a Latin-led boma. So we have in South Africa, we call it the braai. So it's maybe a barbecue. So at night at the hotel. Okay. So after finishing at the safari, we'll be going to Johannesburg. And from Johannesburg, so also in Johannesburg, we'll have a city tour. We're also gonna be seeing Constitution Hill, which talks a lot about South African democracy, since South Africa is a new democracy since 1994 and coming from apartheid to democracy. But also we'll go to Lesedi Culture Village, where basically we're going to go and meet all the different tribes in South Africa. So in South Africa, you have 11 official languages, which 9 of them are African languages. But that's only the official languages. There are way more tribes, and that village will be introduced to the different tribes that South Africa has, from Zulu, Xhosa, Venda, and many, many others. There'll be like drumming, and it's going to be a very, very cool experience there. And in my opinion, the highlight is going to Victoria Falls. Victoria Falls is one of the most amazing place in the world. One of the natural seven wonders. If you can and you're already here, I highly recommend you not to miss it. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience. We'll also be able to see, so we'll go on a boat ride, and we'll also be able to see quite a bit of animals there. We're gonna go to the Chobe National Park, where you see rhinos and you see hippos, which, by the way, the hippos are one of the largest predators in South Africa. So, and they're known to be the biggest predators, more than lion, more than any other animal. We'll also have a few game drives there. We have a river, so we're also going to be on the river, be able to see the different animals, and then we'll finish it by going to Victoria Falls. Cool. This is where we get to pricing. Now, our pricing is based on a few things. One of it is how many people. The more people join, the cheaper basically becomes. Now, another factor is we have an early bird until the end of the month. The one thing that we want you to understand is that, first of all, so this time of the year is peak season for us in South Africa. So it's your winter, but our summer. And prices are really rising. So now, if you book with us by the end of this month, we can actually secure a really good rate for you and a really good discount. And trust me, Rabbi is a very good negotiator because, yes, anyway, she did a very good job. If you only want to do specific chapters, only want to do Cape Town or whatever your budget allows, you're more than welcome to chat to me, see what we can do. But if you only want to do Cape Town, that's fine. We have the Southern chapter, which is basically the garden route, Port Elizabeth, and the safari. Then we have bundle deals for you guys. So you can do everything but Cape Town or everything with Cape Town. And if you want to do everything all together, if you book it by the end of the month, you'll get up to $1,800 discount. So the sooner we can book it, the better rate we can do. And another thing that we can actually also offer for you guys, and it's also good negotiation skills by the rabbi. You can book with, so you can do so we need 30% deposit. Now, if you book the early birds, we're locking in your rate, and you'll know exactly what you're going to pay for. What we can also offer you flexible booking, which means is that you give us 30% deposit, and if until end of October you, for whatever reason, you decide you can't make it or whatever reason that is, 2/3 of that deposit comes back to you. And that's it. So yeah, we have an early bird by 1st of May, and then we have another smaller early bird by end of May, so 1st of June. So what does it include? It includes all hotels, all meals. During the stays, also, I forgot to say that we'll take you to different restaurants, different experiences, and so on. So that includes that. New Year's Eve, Shabbat meals with the different hosts. All the guides are qualified guides, air conditioning, buses, open top game vehicles. So on the safari, we won't be in closed cars or closed vehicles. It's going to be open vehicles. 2 flights, so from Port Elizabeth to Johannesburg, and for the people decide to also go to Victoria Falls, then it will also include that. It does not. So what we don't cover is we don't cover your international flights coming into South Africa and out, travel insurance, gratitudes, and items for personal nature. And that's it.
Excellent. Sagy, I'm going to stop your sharing here, Sagy. So I just for comparison, so here's the thing about the prices. It is pricey because we're going high season, but I didn't want to go in rainy season. and I wanted to go when I was sure the weather would be good. I'm just going to show you, I went, I Googled, Jewish South Africa trips. First of all, there's not that many that are just standalone trips. You usually go with a synagogue or something like this. Here was one for $99.50. It's 10 nights. This is 21. If you take the whole thing, this is 21 nights. So this is a pretty, and then the safari extension. So this is a pretty good deal. So I just needed to compare this, and this is under Jewish Heritage Travel. I don't know who they are. But if you go out there and look for Jewish South Africa, you're not going to find too much because they usually do it like with a synagogue, and then this whole synagogue goes kind of thing. So if we're like independent people and you're looking for a trip, you're not going to find too much, and you won't find this group rate for the whole, if you decide to do the whole thing, or even for part of it, for these prices at that time of year. So I just needed to say that up front about the pricing.
They usually book it with me, so it means that everything that is in between is almost their profit. It is
okay. So I thought we should go over, these are, our frequently asked questions. I'm going to just show this here. What makes this unique? You get me. And it combines spiritual, culture, nature, the animals, the garden route. I wanted to, be on the land. In Croatia, we had the caves, experiencing the land is part of it for me. We get the Shabbat in Cape Town, community engagement, integration of the culture and spiritual elements. Here's who you contact for the flights, for the tour logistics, for the group experience. You get Bonisa. Bonisa, how do you say it, Sagy?
Bonisa.
Okay.
Bonisa Globe.
Bonisa, okay. And for the logistics, I get the group experiences. Here's the trip's dates and arrival. You get the airport transfers, additional hotel nights, whatever you need. Let's see. This tells about the departure. If you want to extend your stay, I will put all of this in the chat, and it will also be on the email that I will send you as a follow-up if I have all of your emails. You'll be met at the airport. Transfers are included on official arrival dates, but we can get the private transfers. Hotels and facility, you get your breakfast. It depends on which hotel we choose it for Cape Town, whether you get a swimming pool or not. That's the difference between the 3-star and the 4-star hotels. SIM cards, we got that covered. Health and safety, they're going to handle all the logistics if anybody gets sick or anything like that. Get your travel insurance. We got a private, comfortable coach. There's no bathroom on board this time. However, we're gonna stop along the way, so I don't think it's going to be an issue. Luggage, here's some recommendations. You all know how to pack by now, most of you. Walking shoes, recommended items. Bottled water on the bus. We can do kosher and vegetarian friendly options. Here's some other things for that New Year's Day where there's not a scheduled activity. Cable cars, Vineland tours, paragliding, boats, diamond experiences, if anybody's in the mood for shopping. The walking, 1 to 2 hours. It's not we can handle I asked him about the mobility issues. Guests can opt out of certain walking portions and still enjoy it. We can drop you off closer to the site, that kind of thing. Sagy's handled this already. Group safety, shopping, you got that included. Here's your electricity, what you need, the weather, and travel insurance, travel insurance, travel insurance. And then here's about the payments. You can break it into payments and the tipping guidelines. And so that's what's going to be on the handout that I send you. So questions?
I just want to add one point, which is I think really important. So South Africa, when it comes to walking, you are gonna be requested to be able to walk. This is just one, important point. We are able to facilitate to get you closer. In some cases, we have like a cable car and stuff like that. But if you are not comfortable walking for an hour, or that might be a bit challenging because also the pavements here are not super straight, as one of my members once told me that we should have told them up front that the pavements are not paved straight. But you should be able to walk, so moderately. It's not a marathon, but you should be able to walk. It is important.
We've walked through caves and tunnels, and and if not, we sit down and have a cup of coffee. I mean, we compensate for that. And let me just say this: one of the places that why I chose a game reserve for a safari instead of Kruger National Park, if some of you want to know that question, because Kruger is the place that people go. It's a huge area. So first of all, at this time of year, it's malaria season, and I didn't want to go anywhere near it. But in this area that we're going to go to, a game park, which is a reserve, it's not as wild as the wild, but it is, it's a safari experience. It's not malaria territory. So I just thought that was safer. I'm sure if you want to go on a safari in Kruger, Sagy can arrange that for you. But I just wanted you to know my thinking of why I didn't do that. And also it felt like you had to be there. It was a hit or miss kind of thing. You had to be there 5 days in order to make sure you saw animals, as opposed to 3 days where you knew you would. So I just figured, given the time and everything else I wanted to see, that a 3-day intensive safari where we knew we would see what we came for was going to be more time efficient. So I just wanted to put that.
Between Ado and Victoria Falls, I promise you're going to be seeing a lot of animals.
Okay. Deb Nye has her hand up. You got to unmute, though. Unmute.
I had heard, and it's totally in line with what you were just saying, that in that high season, although the weather's great, there's so much vegetation that it's hard to see the animal. It can be hard to see the animals. So
yeah,
that's one question.
It's like it's a give and take, but that is true. And then another point, which is also really important, the sun in South Africa is very dangerous. So it's really important to come with sunscreen and clothes that are very good against UV and so on. So just really important note.
Okay. And the other question was vaccines. What are we recommending here?
You don't legally, I need to tell you, talk to your doctor, but you don't need any vaccine. So you don't need yellow fever for South Africa. And we're not going to be in a malaria zone necessarily, but also if we are going to malaria zone, there are brilliant medication that you take. I would even recommend you to take the one in South Africa and not the one from America. But that's, again, go with what your doctor says. But we're not gonna be in a malaria zone.
Okay, thank you.
questions? You're being very quiet. Oh, Mariam.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So you're saying we should take the one in South Africa. How do we get that? Do we have to go to a doctor in South Africa to get it?
You mean the malaria pills?
Yeah.
No, you get them. You get them in advance here from your doctor. You just tell your doctor, I'm going to South Africa. You look on the CDC website. You see what's recommended. You go discuss it with your doctor, and then then they'll put you on it. You have to take them a couple of days before, or get the vaccine.
So you tell your doctor you want the anti-malarial from South Africa?
No.
So you can either get it there or we can get it for you here. That's not, you just need to, as Rabbi said, you need to take it a few days before you go. But if you still want to take malaria pills, we can arrange it here easily.
Maybe, yeah. The best thing is discuss it with your doctor.
I'm going to. It's just I'm trying to understand what he's saying.
Okay.
Like, we have to go to a doctor in South Africa to get it.
No, you don't need a doctor in South Africa, but talk to your doctor in your own city.
Thank you.
Fran. You're muted, though. Unmute.
Is it possible to go to the nature reserve, which is part of the pre-tour, and then continue onto the garden?
Yes.
Sorry, can you, what nature reserve are you talking
The retreat. The retreat.
The retreat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let me talk to you about the retreat for a few minutes. When I came back from Croatia and Bosnia, even though I had built in Shabbat, we weren't going to do anything. We weren't going to spend any money. We ended up doing a lot of walking tours on Shabbat, and there was nowhere in the trip that we really rested for 3 weeks. We were on the go for 3 weeks. So given that this is far away, I decided we should build in something that Shabbat that is much more relaxing. And Rabbi Andy Kuti, who I've met in Jewish renewal circles, lived in South Africa for 10 years, I think. And she's lovely. And so I decided to work with her and to put us in a nature setting. Because, you get there and sometimes the jet lag does not hit. Oh my God, they're blowing up my phone here. Sometimes the jet lag doesn't hit that first day or so, but I figured by Shabbat we should really take it deep, and we might as well go to some place to experience the land and be in a beautiful place, and have that as part of the experience. I remember, for those of you who were on many years ago when we took a trip to Israel, we landed and we were like at a kibbutz and a guest house for 2 days, just to get rid of jet lag and to experience what was there, and before we took off on the trip. So that was sort of my thinking, that I'll just build this into the trip. And also, most of these other places that we've been to, there has not been progressive Jewish communities, and there is in South Africa. And here was a rabbi who's a colleague and a friend of mine. I was just going to put her to work. So that was my thinking. Evelyn.
Thank you. One thing is, I walk slower than most people. I do walk, but I'm slower because I get out of breath and I have an inhaler, and the doctor's fine with that. So,
No problem at all.
no, I think I held up the group on the last trip
That's okay.
a little bit.
You
We
did.
have patience.
A little bit. No, it was a lot, but that's
Oh,
okay.
okay,
You
then.
you added other things to the trip. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm worried about that. I
If
am
you
worried
start
about
if you start chasing a lion or a zebra, then I'll worry about you.
And another question, you mentioned 2 other flights that are still inside of South Africa. Do those airlines have the same requirements as the international airlines for what limit you can have on luggage? Limits and
So,
weights and sizes.
yes, yes and no. So it depends on what international airline you arrive with. So if you, it's not an issue. We just need to, obviously we'll communicate. So if, for instance, you arrive with two luggages, we just need to pay extra for the extra luggage. But my suggestion would be come with one luggage if you can. If you can't, we'll just need to pay extra for extra luggage if needed. But
Okay.
basically the luggage requirements were shared and they're going to be in the FAQ. So it's 44 pounds for luggage.
Okay. And since it's such a long trip, is there time, actual real time, to do laundry? Let's say in a washing machine.
In Cape Town, we'll have multiple days together. In the garden
But Cape
route,
Town is the beginning.
yeah,
So
in the
most of the
garden route, yeah, sorry, it's lagging a little bit on my side. In the garden route, we'll maybe. I need to look at it again, possibly because we are gonna be driving on the route, so we might not have unless they're gonna have same day delivery at the hotel. So that's something.
I don't mean that. That's kind of expensive. If you just, can use a washing machine and then put it in the dryer, and that would take maybe 3 or 4 hours.
It won't
I
happen
need
on the
to
garden route. Maybe at Port Elizabeth when we're there for Shabbat.
maybe go, yeah.
That's the best bet. It won't happen. It won't happen on that garden route. We're in different hotels every night. You'd have to just do it in the hotel, and you know, pay the prices. If not, but if you get to Port Elizabeth, you can. But it's not like I've built in washing machine time to go on the itinerary. I'll consider that for the next trip. Mimi and Renee.
So it's summertime. Just how hot is that summertime? Is
That's a
it
great
like,
question.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't know how to think in Fahrenheit, so I need to I apologize. But it's about 25 to 35 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Just
So it's a trick question because as I said, so
Yeah.
it is on from a degree standpoint, it's not. California might be hotter. The challenge here is that there's no ozone layer here, so the sun is actually more dangerous. Also, if it's not too hot, especially if your skin is not conditioned to the weather here. So. Um, so yes, heat-wise, it's not a train smash. Um, you can manage it. It could be from a weather perspective, it's actually more windy than hot in some days. Cape Town's a very windy city, especially in summer. But if I would say something to look out for, and I would probably repeat it, is actually just to be careful in the sun.
one of the things I might point out for those degrees, 37 is a degree of a person, which is 98.5 or 6. So that gives you some kind of idea. So the high could be close to
Yeah,
high
I mean,
temperature.
I just Googled it. I just Googled it. Cape Town in December, 75 to 82. Johannesburg, 77 to 83. Kruger, which we're not going to, is 90 to 97. There could be some light rainfall in the afternoon thunderstorms. So, I mean, look, the Earth is getting hotter. If you wait another year, it's going to be even hotter. So we might as well go now.
What about humidity?
No, there's not high humidity in Cape Town this time, so it's mostly windy, yeah.
No
Weather-wise,
humidity.
it's I wouldn't say no humidity, but it's not high humidity like in Tel Aviv, for instance, where you walk outside and you're in a cloud of sweat.
Would it
So
be like Arizona last month, which was 100 degrees?
I never been to Arizona, so I
Very
don't know.
dry. It's very dry.
Yeah.
But weather-wise, it's very, very convenient. I would say that.
Hmm.
You might consider moving here. We don't have the LA fires, which is a big, big
Yeah.
plus.
Who knows? Consider moving there.
Deb Nye.
So, if assuming we did the 21 days and nothing else, we would fly into Cape Town and then out from Johannesburg from the US. Yes?
Correct.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
those flights are included to Victoria Falls and back to Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Yes.
We will, obviously, if you want to arrive a day or two before and then leave in a day or two in order to, so we'll sort it out. We'll help you to navigate the flight times and so on.
So that was my question also. If we're at Victoria Falls, then we have to fly to Johannesburg and then fly back to the States from Johannesburg.
Correct.
And I think we can actually get a flight that will do Victoria Falls to Johannesburg back to the States.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, I'm a librarian. I did a little research.
Evelyn, you have your hand up.
It was a mistake. I forgot to push the button to lower it.
Anybody else? Questions?
Another point that I forgot to mention, we have two options for you from accommodation. So for Cape Town, there is a 3-star and 4-star option. We don't have it in the main tour though. Just so you know, but there is a 3-star option in Cape Town. It is a good hotel. There are proximities that they're close to each other, more or less. So from that aspect, it just you don't have in a 3-star you won't have the 4-star amenities like a pool or stuff like that. But it's a decent hotel if you want to save some bucks.
Part of but on the route we have to stay together to be out on the bus at the time. And let me I just want to show you. I have those links here. Hotels, so you can see what we're talking about.
Another point while she's doing that, single supplement if you want your own room or sharing. So everywhere you can have a single supplement, but the safari. So in the safari, there's no single supplement.
So this is the 3-star?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the 3-star, and it's, what did you say? It's more like a business. It's business hotel, going to be sort of not bare bones, but just sort of. And I'll show you the other one. Give me 1 second. This one, can you see this one? You see the difference? This is the difference. But you'll save about $450 if we go to what we're calling the business hotel. But this is the 4-star has the swimming pool. Okay. All right, and I'll include those links too in something that I follow up. So let's see. I need, Miriam, do I have your email? And Arlene, do I have your email? The rest of you, I think I do have your email. If you could put it in the chat, or if you could send it to me, then when I send a follow-up email, you'll have, here's mine, rabbi@shekhinah.com. Okay, there we go.
Where is the reserve, Sagy?
Sorry?
The reserve, the park we're going for this safari, how large is it?
how you want. I don't know how
Sagy,
big it is, but it's really big.
pull up the link. Can you pull up the link and just show it to them? So the thing that people go to South Africa for, apparently, that I'm learning, is the big five. Do you know what the big five are? The elephants, the zebras, the giraffes,
Lions.
lions,
Yes.
Rhinos.
and rhinos. Those are the big five that they.
I just looked up Big Five because it wasn't mentioned. It doesn't include giraffes. It
No,
says
that was me.
Giraffes. It's rhinos. I think it's the buffalo, the lion, elephant,
leopard,
and
rhino, elephant. It says here. Lion, leopard, rhino, elephant,
Oh,
cape.
the leopard, yeah.
So not giraffes.
no.
Will there be giraffes?
There will be a lot of giraffes. Yes.
Okay, I'm coming.
I love
So there's
giraffes.
an animal that is elusive. There's a few, but you're very lucky. It's actually it's not a very known one, but it's the wild dog. If you see one, that's like almost a miracle. If you're able to see the wild dog, which is not very interesting for most people, I think. But the rhinos. So rhinos are more instinct because of unfortunately because people hunt them. So the rhinos are the one animal that is a little bit harder to find. But elephants, giraffes, lions, leopards are more. It's also harder to spot them, but I've seen leopards multiple times going to the different nature reserves. Also, surprisingly, the elephant is actually really sneaky as well. He knows how to hide very well, even though he's massive.
I was going to say, it's hard to hide an elephant.
Not really. They're smart animals.
Yeah.
I see Mimi and Renee have their hands up, and then Deb wants some clarification about what's the difference between May 1st and June 1st deposits. But let's Mimi and Renee first.
So yeah, because I was just along with the whole thing about animals. You mentioned baboons. Are there any other non-human primates that you end up seeing?
They're gonna be, yeah. So baboons you'll see. So at Cape of Good Hope, there's a lot of them. They're almost like a gang. It's
Yeah,
you'll see quite of them. Yeah, you'll see quite a bit of them, and there is a possibility that we'll go to Monkeyland. We need to see if we'll be able to squeeze it in the garden route because we're doing quite a bit already. So, but maybe we'll do one and not do the others. Let's see. But yes, monkeys is something.
I think we can leave out the bungee jumping. I'm just saying.
right. I'll take the monkeys.
Although I do want people to know I am a massage therapist, and if you do too much, I might be able to put you back together.
Yes.
What are the dates? Because I looked on some of the emails and I didn't see them.
Okay.
So tour starts on the 28th of December.
There are direct flights from Atlanta and Newark. Okay.
Delta flies from Atlanta.
And United is from Newark.
And you can take British here to Heathrow from Boston.
You can also, the Newark flight comes in late on that night. It comes in around 7. I've already checked, like Susan, I'm a librarian, so I've already checked it. And the direct flight comes in around 7 or 8 to Cape Town. So
and I didn't catch the last date. Is that just for the whole package for Victoria Falls? I guess that's where we'd have to fly out of.
Yes, so 17th of Jan is when we are flying out from Victoria Falls back to Johannesburg. So just to be safe, I would maybe say book it for the 18th, depending on when your flight is.
Okay, just to get a sense of that. Thank you.
Yeah, because you're flying to the West Coast.
I am.
Also, jet lag here is real. So I would highly recommend come a day. So the first day on 28th is easy. We're not going We're not starting hard from the morning, but I would recommend to come at least one day earlier, if possible, 2 days earlier, just to climatize and get into the rhythm of the local time.
What is the time difference from the East Coast?
What is the time difference? I think it's 6 hours, 6 or 7 hours.
But the flight is long.
Yeah.
So now it's 7 p.m. on my side.
Yeah, 7. Oh, it's 6 hours then. So it's the
Yeah.
same as Europe.
But we're
Correct.
also in regular time in the winter, not daylight savings time like now. So it may mean another hour.
Right. That's
So if
true.
you
It'd be
think about
7.
it, Cape Town is south to Europe. So we have the same time zone with Europe.
Can I say something? I once flew to Europe on Easter Sunday, and there was hardly anybody on the plane except for my group. So just if we want to go early, maybe flying on Christmas Day may not be such a bad idea. Just saying.
100%.
Yeah, good idea.
Leaving America, but coming to Cape Town will probably be relatively full.
Oh, full? Okay.
Okay. So can you clarify the deposits by May 1st and June 1st?
Yeah, so it's 200. So if you do June 1st, it's just $200 less. More, sorry.
So that's not so bad if, you're still saving a lot of money if you do it by June 1st. You're just not saving that $200, correct?
So if you take the bundles, we
Yeah.
have the full chapters and then we have the bundles. If you take the bundles, this is where you're going to save the most, up to end of this month. But yes.
I mean, there's a war going on where the fuel and the jet prices are going up all the time, which is one of the reasons we want to lock this in. I just read an article about Korea that and several airlines are going out of business because of this, and Korea's had to go on rations and everything with electricity, so we just don't know. This war's not over yet. So I'd say if you want to go, lock it in. Mimi.
So one of the problems I have with committing to this trip, what happens if there aren't flights and we can't get there?
We'll see.
First, have travel insurance. That's the first thing. Have travel insurance. That's the first thing.
Book your flight and get travel insurance.
Yeah. Okay.
If I booked the whole thing, I would get travel insurance immediately because of how the situation is in the world right now.
Correct.
So if they aren't flying, we could get our money back.
Yes.
Yeah, but get cancel for any reason. Cancel for any reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So travel insurance will definitely get you covered.
And one last thing, if we book our flights, maybe you know this, if we book our flights now, does it lock in the price, or can there be fuel subsidy charges and all that stuff?
So this is exactly what we're doing it now. So South Africa's, they have increased the rates, but they haven't increased their flight rates yet. I want to lock in the prices now, because if we lock it now, there won't be any increase. But if we're gonna, most likely, the prices are gonna go up the longer we're gonna wait. I can tell you 99% definitely. I just don't know by how much. Again, whenever God will decide that Trump will win, or whatever the war is gonna end up with, so great. But until then, the earlier we lock it in, the better. But expect the price to change soon.
Okay, thank you.
What's the exchange rate right now for the dollar?
$1, I think it's 16.5 rands. 16. So it fluctuates between 16 and a half to 17.
Does this sort of mean like if I book in the whole thing by May 1st and you said you get 2/3 back in case you cancel for any reason, does that mean that if I bought insurance, that would refund the other third that you don't refund?
Correct.
Is that true?
Yes.
Well, it depends on the policy that you have with your provider, which I don't know what it is, but they should, yes.
I gotta go. Bye.
Okay, we got one last thing before you go. Tell your friends about this because if I get 20 people, if I get more than 15, the prices drop. So we just, I'm just saying, tell your friends about this. All right, I send you, anybody else? Susan Shine has questions.
Well, I have a question that's very personal to me, probably. So, just about food and vegetarianism, kashrut. I mean, I'm not saying it has to be kosher. I don't mean that, but just like, where are we with food along the way? I saw a lot of meat names in
South
things.
Africa, my wife is vegetarian, so in South Africa, Cape Town is a vegetarian paradise. So you're in very good hands. But if you want certified kosher, that will be an extra charge. But vegetarian, very easy.
Even
no
at the
problem.
places, sorry, even at the places that say, we do beef. I don't know. I can't remember the names, but I remember them being pretty meaty sounding restaurants, like
It's a coastal town. I'm assuming there's fish everywhere. Oh,
I'm
but
not
you don't
talking
eat
about the
fish.
town. I'm talking about all the rest
The
of them.
restaurants that said beef. Yes, Sue. That hit me too.
Yeah, like it just felt like, uh-oh, I'm going to be paying a lot of money for potatoes.
No. South Africa is known to be very vegetarian friendly.
And even on the safari?
As well, yeah. So obviously, also, I mean, as a meat consumer, South Africa is also cheap. So the meat here is high quality. It's very renowned for its meat, but there's multiple alternatives. Vegetarians can be easily be fed.
Y'all do tofu?
Yeah, tofu.
Okay, good. Okay. Thank
For
you.
specific things, allergies, any specific requirements, please let me know. And then obviously we can do it on a case-by-case situation, but there's no really issues here.
Oh, I think I have one more question, and that is, maybe this is for Rayzel, but I don't know. Is there a minimum number of people?
15.
15.
Yeah, we need 15.
And do we know that there's a max?
There's no max. I mean, at the moment we're having 30 people. I wouldn't recommend having more than 30 people just because it becomes to be less
Manageable.
a little bit, yeah. So I think 20 to 25 people is like a decent amount of people.
So 2 to 2.5 million need. Got it. Okay, thank you.
So if we don't get the minimum, is there going to be a price increase?
Yes. So there is a price for below, but I don't think that will be a big problem. So
As you know, I'm just getting my PR out at the moment. It just went out in my newsletter. It hadn't even been in the Aleph newsletter yet. I wanted to wait till I had this recording so I could send it to people who have asked or who have asked to travel in the past. So it's going to get out. And you'll help me. Tell your friends. Evelyn, your hand back up.
Yeah. I had it. Wait a minute. It just went out of my head. Give me a second. I had a question.
Let Mimi and Renee ask theirs and you can come back.
Yes. Thank you.
Are we going to be spending a lot of time in cemeteries?
no.
Like, are we visiting cemeteries? Well, you
Is
know
it something you want to do?
No.
Yes.
I mean, the cemeteries we went to were beautiful, but dead people don't excite me as much as live people.
There is the yes, but no. So we're not. There's no
Okay.
focus.
No,
We are more about nature and the living.
Unless it's mine, because I get too friendly with the lion.
Rabbi is too colorful to be in a cemetery the whole day.
Really.
Thank you.
That's history. That's history. Cemetery.
Yeah.
Evelyn.
I remembered the question. You said there's a minimum of 15, but you said that at the relaxation place, the maximum is 15.
Correct.
So what would we do with the other people?
Well, the first come, first serve to get to go on the retreat part. They would have to stay in Cape Town or something like that.
So they will be covered. They'll be in the hotel, the same hotel in Cape Town. And then if they want to do whatever they want, or they want to book something specific, or they just want to do their own thing, it's really up to them. Yeah. Unfortunately, we do have a limit for the retreat just because there's no more space. If we're gonna have a big, demand for the retreat, we might look at maybe choosing a different place, but this place is ideal. But yeah, there is a limit, unfortunately, for the retreat.
Thank you.
Okay. Any others? I think we're good. May the angels take us where we need to go. And I'm glad you all have joined me today. Bring your friends, tell your friends about it. I mean, do we get to ride a zebra or anything like that, Sagy? We've ridden camels and elephants and yaks.
I wouldn't recommend it.
You don't recommend? These are wilder animals, though, huh?
Actually, they've never been able to break zebras. That's why they didn't. That had a lot to do with
you can't domesticate
development of domesticity and civilization.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons there were not large civilizations, really large, in Africa.
So don't
There's nothing to ride.
Don't mess with the zebras. Yeah.
Don't mess with the zebras.
You do see them randomly even in Cape Town. So once you drive into the winelands, you can actually see some random zebras there. No zebra riding.
I'll take a giraffe.
It looks kind of like you are riding one, Rayzel, in your background there.
I brought him into the Zoom room today to give us kavanah to see the zebras. Okay, Meryl, please tell Shosh and Deb, are they thinking about this?
I talked to Debbie. Debbie's having they're traveling again, so they're not really. I'm seeing Debbie next month, so I'll ask them.
Yeah, okay. Sounds
So from
good.
a booking, there's a booking page with different options. Play around with it a little bit. You are welcome. If you are, hopefully you'll make a booking. You can make a booking using a card or a transfer wire. If there is a situation where you are not handling the online page, or for whatever reason, you're more than welcome to contact me, and then we can do it a one-on-one session. If you have more questions, feel free to reach out. More than happy to answer if we haven't covered here, or you thought of something new, or something is unclear.
I'm going to put your email in all the correspondence that goes out so they can connect directly to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Any others? I think we're good to go. I can't wait to see us in South Africa. All right. Thank you, Sagy. And we look forward to working with you, and I look forward to traveling with some of you. And, what are we waiting for is what I say. Okay. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Can I end?